gotta chill. Oh, nah. You just... Maybe I should correct that. Hold on. What was I saying? Hi guys, my name is Sabrina. First things first, just want to introduce myself a little bit. My friends like to call me Sab. I am from LA. I do go to FIT in New York City. I'm 21 years old, and yeah, I'm an FBM major. For those of you who don't know what that is, it just means Fashion Business Management, so that will be my perspective throughout the whole video. I don't know much about the design part or the media or anything else that's in the school, so if you're rooting for FBM or just want to know about the like social life, everything that has to do with that, keep watching. I'm gonna go over all of it, and yeah, so let's get started. So I didn't go to FIT right out of high school. I didn't go in as a freshman. I was actually at FIDM in LA here, and as most of you already imagine, everyone knows the hype around New York City and how expensive it is. Everyone just knows that living there, the cost of schools, everything, out-of-state tuition, everything is extremely high. And personally, FIT was always a school that I wanted to attend, and for some reason, I don't know why, I never looked at how much the tuition cost was, and I just avoided it. I just thought, New York is expensive, we can't afford that. And yeah, so I ended up going to FIDM in Los Angeles. I did the whole tour thing. It's a great school, honestly. The campus is beautiful, the building is nice. It is a private college, so yeah, you get all the perks of it being beautiful, but that's not, I don't know. Personally, I don't want to bash on the school. I was there for only a year, but it was too easy. Like, everyone could get a 4.0 there. I felt like the teachers were a little lazier, or they just taught things that you could read online. Like, it was way too easy. I wanted something a little bit more challenging. So I made a friend at FIDM, and she was actually from New York, coincidentally. So I told her how much I wanted to go to FIT rather than FIDM, and she ended up telling me about like the cost of tuition, and she was saying how great the school was, and I was just like, and that it's a public school. And when I told her that it was way too expensive and out of my price range, she was like, are you sure? Did you look at the price range? And the tuition at this school for an out-of-state student like me was like almost $8,000, was right under per semester, which is incredible. Like almost 15 grand a year, which yeah, it's a lot of money still, but compared to FIDM, where I was barely learning anything and I paid $35,000 a year, was pretty horrible, and it felt like a waste of money. I looked up like housing and the tuition, I added everything up, and it was pretty much the same as going to FIDM. So I told my parents, listen, like, we can afford this. I'm getting a new apartment to live on my own and live in a new city that I've always dreamt of. And then on the other hand, I was just at FIDM living at home and then paying for parking in downtown LA. Like, who wants that? So I finished my semester there, my first year with FIDM, and I dropped out immediately. I canceled the next year, and I applied over the summer to go to FIT as a transfer student, and like, wow, so close. I had no option. I just dropped out and applied to FIT, and I got in, thank God, as you can assume. If you're interested in transferring to FIT and want some more info on that and actually the process of doing it, I can definitely help you guys with that. Just mention in the comments down below, and I'll make a second video to this, maybe like a part 2, how to transfer. And yeah, how is the school in general? So FIT, let me put it this way, it's a public school. It's this concrete building. I know it's a fashion school and everyone expects it to be like glamorous and beautiful and amazing, but really it's this giant campus. It's like just made of concrete. I'll literally put a picture here or something, but yeah, it's not anything cute. The classrooms are also not up to date. Everything's really old. It's like a high school classroom, honestly, but to be honest, the school is so much better than FIDM. I don't want to bash on the school, but it is. I mean, the teachers have experience. It's still a little easy, but it's not that easy from my experience. Like I said, I'm a Fashion Business Management major, which is FBM. So that means you can be in product development, you can be in marketing, you can own a store, you can be an entrepreneur, you can manage anything, you can be a buyer, a planner, you can do a lot of things with this degree, so it's very versatile. I didn't have to use workshop rooms or anything with my major. I didn't have to design, so I don't know that side again. The school has like one Starbucks, it has this whole cafeteria there that they have options. I've never eaten there in my life except like once. I think I got like to go sushi or something, but that's about it. When you go to a school in New York City, it's not about FIT the school, it's about where you are. And I'm telling you, the second you leave the school, you're in such a magical place that it doesn't matter what the school is, what it looks like. You're getting the degree in something you love, you're surrounded by fashion, and you get to leave and walk around the city. That's the playground. I mean, the city in Chelsea and then walking out to Flatiron or somewhere else is just, that's the good part. That's what you're paying for. So don't worry about the school being glamorous or not. That's not what fashion is. Fashion is actually very hard. It's a hard industry. It's super tough on people, but there are fun sides to it, so keep that in mind. The social life at FIT is actually... Let me start it this way, actually. So the social life at fashion schools and just art schools in general are very not the best. If you're trying to go to a school to party and like go crazy and all of that good stuff, that is not happening at a fashion school. I'll tell you that right now. That is not what you're going for. Be prepared to, you know, reach out to people. Be prepared to meet people outside of school and in your classrooms, anywhere in the city. Like, that's what you're going for. You're going to study, unfortunately. I know you want to make more friends, but art schools, especially FIT, is super cliquey. The second you start school, whoever you meet in the beginning of class or like at orientation or whatever is who you're really sticking with, which is kind of something I didn't really like. Like, people attach to each other the first day. So listen, if you're a freshman coming into the school, I definitely recommend dorming. I've heard good experiences. I mean, the dorms are not the best, and I can't tell you much about it because I didn't stay in a dorm. I stayed in an apartment in New York, and I'll show a little here because I really needed to live alone. I moved at 20, like right when I was turning 21, that stage where I didn't really want to live at a dorm and I kind of wanted my own place. Yeah, so if you're a freshman coming into the school, I would definitely recommend going to the dorms, and that way you meet people right off the bat. I mean, it's scary. If I was a freshman, I would have definitely done it that way, and that way you can meet people on your hall, and the clubs they offer are amazing. I don't know why I'm not really in one. I was in one for a little bit that was like about business and like, and it's good for connections and speakers come, which I love. Yeah, if you're trying to make friends, it's just, you gotta reach out to people. That's all it is. So if you're like in a classroom, you have to be the one to say,
hey, like, I love your shirt, or hey, like, were you in my class last semester?
Or just anything. If you're like at orientation, that's a perfect time to meet people because that's when everyone is like awkward. You're not the only one that doesn't know anyone. Everyone there is maybe uncomfortable or just shy and doesn't know how to reach out, or maybe they really want to talk to you and they don't have the balls to do it. So you have to do it. You're gonna meet someone no matter what, I promise you. Whether you're in a dorm, whether you're in an apartment, it doesn't matter. You're gonna meet someone in the end. I'm telling you, there's so many parties. People will reach out to you and just invite you places. Literally, when I first moved to New York, I didn't know anyone, and I just walked around, went to a movie alone. I mean, it sucks, but you just have to do it. I went to a party with someone I just had met, and I met so many other people, great people that I still talk to this day. My biggest advice to you, if you're going to FIT or just any school in a new state, especially New York, I recommend getting a job. I always have a job during school. I just can't help it. I need to be super busy. I like to hustle, and I know that you want an internship, and sometimes it's not that easy to get them, so when you can land a job, it's the best way. All my best friends are from my job in New York. I love them all. I still talk to them now after COVID. Like, it's amazing. You meet so many people, you get a discount wherever you work, because a lot of people at the school and a lot of people at your job are from New York, and they get to show you around, show you the good places that you've never been to. Living in an apartment versus a dorm is like the best thing ever. If I was maybe 17 out of high school, I probably wouldn't have wanted to do that, or 18, because it's probably a little scary at first. But I mean, I went at 20, I was almost 21, I moved out straight into the city, and it was a great way to learn where I was and to learn the streets, and I don't know, it's nice. I personally didn't want a curfew. Like Nagler building, I think it's Nagler, they don't have AC, they don't have heaters and like communal bathrooms, and I know that's lame for me to be grossed out by, but I can't. I'm honestly a little high maintenance, so I couldn't do that. But in an apartment, you can have people over all the time, you can do whatever you want. I mean, it's your place, and you're like growing up that way. You get to cook your own food. There's a lot of options for you when you're living in an apartment, especially like if you find a really good one. Like, I had a gym and a rooftop in my building and a balcony in my room. If you are younger and you're a little more shy, or you're not so sure of yourself living on your own, live in a dorm. I mean, it's still a great option. I've heard good things. I also, if you don't have the money right now, I know FIT allows you to be like a dorm supervisor, and you basically get to live there for free in the dorms. You just have to set up some events for the students. But besides that, I mean, it's worth it. New York. New York is literally the love of my life. I love New York since I was like, I can't even remember, like maybe 4 or 5, just because of the movies I saw, and I've never been there till I was like 15. New York is literally amazing. Some people love it, some people hate it, but majority love it. There's just an endless amount of things to do. You'll never get bored, especially if you're alone or you have a ton of friends. There's so many bars, so many restaurants, so many new foods in New York like to open up, and they do a lot of pop-ups, which is really cool. And the shopping is endless. I mean, if you're in Flatiron, Soho, Hudson Yards Mall, Fifth Ave, I mean, there's like so many options. And my favorite thing is that everyone there is ready to hustle, hustle, hustle. I swear to God that everyone's trying to get somewhere. Everyone's rushed. I mean, I love it. I love that energy. I love that vibe. I don't know. It depends on the person, and I think it could honestly change you. I know it's kind of scary hearing that if it's not your vibe, but if it isn't, it could change you and make you more outgoing, or push you out of your comfort zone. That was one of my main reasons that I wanted to move to New York. It wasn't only because I love New York and like to meet new people, but because I wanted to meet new people. Like, I wanted to push myself to that boundary, because I never had to meet new people. I never had to live on my own, but doing that one step, transferring to a school in a new city that I had never lived in or ever lived on my own, like, that made me meet amazing new people, that made me try different foods. But yeah, so New York is magical. It just is. I can't explain it. If you've never been, I do recommend visiting the state or city or wherever you're going for school, no matter what it is, even if it's not FIT, just to see it, because I feel like personally everyone just understands or has a feeling once they're somewhere, and they just feel it. If you feel like,
oh, it's so dirty here, like it's kind of sketchy, or it's just weird,
then you're not gonna have a good time. You're not gonna enjoy it. But if you go there and you're like, wow, like, I've never lived in this kind of environment before. I've never lived alone, but this city looks so cool. The only cons that I hate, and like, but you do it anyway, is the price of New York. But let me tell you, the price, because everyone wants to be there. The amount of money I spent on food definitely made a little break in my bank. But so I hope you like this video. It's my first one on YouTube, so if you could just hit the like button. If you enjoyed it or have any questions, please leave a comment down below. And also, if you want more videos like this, or you just want to see some nice try-on hauls, I'm gonna be uploading soon. Just hit the subscribe button. Alright guys, see ya!